Megaman 1987 is very clearly an arcade developer's first shot at something you're actually meant to beat rather than feed quarters. Notably dated, pretty obnoxious at points, but the core gameplay is so sweet I'd still recommend you try it. The same as Sonic or Street Fighter, the refined sequel really cemented the franchise as something special. 2 is still old and jank, but iconic. You thought I was sticking to mainline games? This is an embarrassing solo dev diarrhea slurry turned official for a quick buck, just don't play this. Mega Man's first Game Boy game is a screen-crunched, slow, boring, and simultaneously frustrating game that feels like Mega Man 1 and 2 remade from memory, but it's playable, I guess. Another big step forwards, while 3's levels and bosses still leave a bit to be desired, it introduced sliding and the bestest boy in gaming, so it gets a pass. The robots are revolting, and so is this game. Called 3, even though it's the second one just to confuse the consumer, that's about the level of integrity you'd expect from this abhorrent shitstorm. 2 Game Boy, or E if you're in a rush, is another forgettable demake of the console games. It introduces some weird time travel lore shit, but you can skip this one. 4's biggest crime is being a little bit unoriginal. The gameplay and level design here are impeccable. It has the charge shot if you never want to touch a special weapon again too. 3 Game Boy is the Game Boy title that I like the least. The first 3 are pretty similar, but they do get better from this point. 5's biggest crime is being a little bit unoriginal. Wait. It has Insensitive Man, but also a banger soundtrack, so it averages out to being one of the better classics. 4 Game Boy tries more original level layouts that are longer and more interesting than before, making it way less cramped and crappy to play. Still mid, but on the higher end. 6 squeezes the NES for all it's worth, with great visuals, tight gameplay, great stages, bosses, music, and the ability to fly. My favourite NES game probably, but they do blend together. Shock Horror V is completely original, with a slew of new robots and a plot that actually exists, weirdly. This is the best an action game can be on this tinier screen. I'd like to imagine this is canon. Mega Man Soccer is a highly forgettable SNES sports game that controls like shit, but it's cute, I guess. Gracing the 16-bit era for the only time, 7 is the best the classic series has ever looked. Really nothing to complain about. 7 is possibly the best in the classic series, minus the skill issue capsule at the end. Sonic and Shadow team up to take care of one of Dr. Eggman's creations turned renegade, with good, albeit slightly janky gameplay that turns a lot of older players away. Wait, wrong game. Imagine if they tried to squish Sonic 1 onto the Game Boy Advance without accounting for console power or screen size. Oh, that's this. The obscure Mega Man and Bass sequel feels like an elaborate prank. It's actually pretty fun, but what do you mean that I'm fighting Shadow, the evil Mega Man clone from the future with sword hands, and who are they? Power Battle is an arcade game where they just remade the NES boss fights and said go nuts. Plays well, but it's just a distraction for 10 minutes. Despite being an assault on the eyes and ears, 8 is a reasonably okay, if slow, platformer, the potential man of the classic series. This is a quick sequel that adds new bosses and Duo from Mega Man 8. It's probably better than the original, but who cares? Miraculously re-released on the Switch, this is a crunchy demade duo of the arcade games for the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Cute, I guess? This game is the epitome of so retro, but the catch is that it's actually great. One very mean fuck you part in every stage doesn't stop it from being solid overall. This game is Mega Man 9 2, that's all. Pretty fun, but it doesn't do anything new. Bass is here. What if Mega Man was a shitty visual novel? What do you mean the action run and gun platformer doesn't work as a glorified book? Capcom does what Nintendo does also, to quote a great philosopher of our time. This is a generic, mediocre Mario Kart clone, but it has Yellow Devil in a car, so 10 out of 10, bravo. They remade 1, 2, and 3 from the ground up for the Genesis, but they didn't bother to print physical copies in the US, so fuck you, I guess. They added Goku and a 20-minute extra campaign, but it's 95% just the NES games. Mediocre PS2 GameCube collection with the redeeming quality of the unlockable arcade games for people like me who didn't want this shit on my PC. The beginning of the ongoing revival, a fantastic re-release collection of 1 through 6 with some cute challenges and a sick amiibo. Despite ignoring Mega Man and Bass and leaving out the rewind feature, it's still a great modern collection of 7, 8, 9, and 10. Pros: Mega Man 1, but it's actually well designed, functional, tons of playable characters, a level editor. The cons are that it's fugly, childish, and possibly racist. Free PC fan game turned official, but actually good this time. Weird boss choices, but pretty good if you have an hour to spare. Japanese-only Famicom board game thing. It's the biggest news for fans of this is that the bird from it is actually in Mega Man 10. Pinball. Gambling. Mega Man Game Gear is a stinking pile of dog shit that clothes itself in the skinned carcass of Mega Man 4 and 5. Do not be fooled, don't play this. They're almost all defunct, but 5 Islands and Golf are cute, I guess. Just don't play the Mega Man X mobile port, I beg of you. An insulting and defunct low-budget crossover that accomplishes nothing but help kill the brand, and a few cool songs and artworks, I guess. What the fuck? Why are we in China? I'm scared. Cool characters, but one of the fuggliest games I've ever seen. Also, Taiwanese PC only. And bad. The big fuck you to Keiji in a fuckhead after he left Capcom, and genuinely great, if lower budget modern game. Go buy it to show them that you care. Holy fucking shit, we are so back, I'm gonna go. The pinnacle of 90s fast-paced run-and-gun action, X is a breathtaking masterpiece in so many ways. It has issues, and it's old, but my god, they cooked here. The gameplay is the same, if not better than 1, and while a little less iconic, it's still a banger entry. Fuck the zero-part system though, Violin, you sleep with one eye open. My favourite maybe, X3 has impeccable vibes and the same amazing gameplay as 1 and 2 at the expense of some slightly mean difficulty. End of a fantastic 10 out of 10 trilogy. X's answer to the Game Boy Classic games, this time in colour. It's not interesting to play because you can't really dash and jump when the screen is this tiny, but it's a fine video game. The first and best PS1 X game, X4 is really easy but also incredibly satisfying, iconic, and fun for all levels of experience. It also introduces a real Zero mode. The same formula as before, this time featuring Zero. It's fine, I like the villains. Intended to be the climactic finale, X5 shoots high in scope and crashes and burns. It's solid at core, but all the extra systems and RNG and stuff make it an unfun mess if you're not already super experienced. The first truly bad mainline game, X6 was rushed out the door by a different team, and it's comically confused. Baffling, more than frustrating, it's only fun if you're already deep in the Mega Man brain rot. A genuinely terrible game that can't even lean on a good control foundation. The only good things X7 brings are jokes at its expense, Axel, and the blueprint for a future 3D entry. Please, Capcom. An overlooked return to form, X8 plays excellently, with fun systems, an intriguing story, okay levels, burdened by a few dumb gimmicks, and a pleasing aesthetic. I need to see where the plot goes. Please, Capcom. Another PSP remake. This one doesn't change much, but adds lore. A good way to play X, but technically non-canon, and in my opinion, less pretty, but it's still a good product. A totally non-canon turn-based RPG spin-off that is okay at its core, but super repetitive and boring. With a lame-ass plot and mid-gameplay, it's hard to get through it for no reward. If you wanted to play X1 through 6 on PS2, I guess. Released simultaneously, they split the games into the good one and the bad one with matching blue and red colours, which is really funny to me. Great collections. Taiwanese phone gacha slop that I could write multiple essays on. Defunct now, it had a cash-grabbing, lobotomized gameplay loop and gross skins. Fuck you, X-Dive. In a staggeringly good move for game preservation, they actually made the aforementioned slop available offline after it died. Still dog shit, and now missing Virgil. Still, it's W Capcom for the preservation. Please, Capcom. Following the X series, this series is a combat-focused 2D Dark Souls-esque experience with more emphasis on a linear story and characters, a deeply depressing tone, and I love it. Building off what the first established, 2 refines the gameplay while reducing grinding, with fantastic level designs and combat no notes. The climax of the Zero series, Zero 3, may be the best game on the GBA, and easily the most interesting plot in Mega Man. Once again, great gameplay, no notes. Acting as a bittersweet epilogue, Zero 4 cuts back the RPG elements, which I like personally, and serves as an amazing conclusion to a tough-as-nails excellent quadrilogy. Literally just the ROMs on a DS cart, and then they added a cheater mode. Easily the best Ben 10 game ever made, ZX tries to blend Metroidvania level design with Mega Man X and Zero combat, and it does okay, I guess. I love it, but you do not play this one for the plot or without a map. Stumbling a little, the sequel feels a bit confused and clunky with too many forms to play as, but if you don't mind a slightly slower pace, it's still great. Fantastic re-release of 6 of the best Mega Man games on one cartridge, go play it. Ocarina of Time, if he had a gun, and it was an Evangelion-esque depressing PS1 game. It has a corny 90s anime coat of paint, but underneath is a fantastic adventure game. A cheap minigame collection disguised as a prequel, Tron Bonne is a grindy and unfun, low-stakes game that is charming enough to be just okay. Upping the ante plot-wise, Legends 2 is a more refined and less old-feeling game than 1, and I really wish this kind of gameplay and plot would have continued going forwards. I love this one. Please, Capcom,